Hey dudes, it's been a while, so let's catch up, get a coffee. It's midnight coffee because that makes a lot of sense. I actually do have a cup of coffee in my Christmas cup, even though it's August, you know? And it is 5 minutes past midnight, so I'm not even lying. So if I seem a little tired or a little bit low energy, it's because it's midnight and I was at work today. Funny story, that one. I was set to work today. This is my normal day at work, but when I got there was another coworker there. We both work part-time, so we both typically take the same kind of shifts, and apparently I don't work my normal day anymore. I still got to work because basically we have two places where we kind of keep track of our hours. There's one that's like the app where we log our hours, and then there's one, just a Google Calendar that we all have access to. So I was set up to work in the Google Calendar, and usually those two say the same thing. But apparently, we're gonna start using the other one now, and the boss didn't update the Google Calendar, so I'm not supposed to work today. I was supposed to work on the Friday, so it was a bit of a kinda got me off to a not so great mood at work. I mean, I wasn't mad or anything, it's just a little annoying when you have a system and then someone changes the system and they don't really tell you that they changed it, and then you just end up having to either work too much or too little and whatever. But I got to work today as well because she didn't change it in one of the systems, so I couldn't really be faulted for showing up. So I got my coffee. I'm on my bed actually because the boyfriend is in the living room, and I wrote a list about videos I wanted to make. I know I said I wanted to come back in my in my 6-year anniversary video, and then I didn't do anything, and that's been like a month, I think. It's honestly been really hard to figure out what I want to make videos about and to find something that I feel confident talking about. I said I wanted to talk a lot about the things that I like, such as anime and books and stuff, and I have watched anime and I read books. I just struggle to find a way to talk about it. If I'm gonna talk about a book, I feel like I should have my words prepared, and I'm not the type of person to prepare my words. But yeah, I have a clipboard. I'm a nerd, so I have a clipboard. So I wrote down some things that I wanted to talk about in this little catch-up video. So the first thing is that summer is almost over. Technically, summer in Norway is June, July, August, and then fall is September, October, November. November is kind of more of a winter month. Well, it depends on where in the country you are, I guess. But yeah, summer is almost over. Even though it's been really warm the last week, it's gonna turn back into typical West Coast weather, which means lots of rain, lots of wind, and lots of rain. But it's gonna be kind of a relief. I've been struggling to sleep a lot, partially due to the warmth. I mean, okay, so I'm drinking coffee at midnight. You could think that that would have something to do with the fact that I struggle to sleep, but it honestly doesn't. I don't really feel like I get affected by coffee. I never really felt that I did. Like, even when I was younger, drinking energy drinks, it didn't really feel like it did much for me. It was more of a placebo, like all my friends got hyper from it, so I just pretended to be, but it didn't feel like it did much. Maybe I'm just fooling myself. But generally speaking, I don't feel like caffeine does much for me, so I don't really mind having a midnight coffee. But yeah, so I haven't really slept well this summer at all. I kind of struggle to sleep when it's light outside. It's not that I necessarily have a hard time falling asleep in light. Like, I don't like it, but I think I could if I was tired enough. I just blocked my eyes with my arm or something. But when it's light outside, my body just feels like it's daytime. So if I don't fall asleep in time and the morning kind of comes around, then, you know, I'm not gonna be able to get proper sleep. And that's kind of been an issue this summer because I kind of messed up my sleep schedule a lot. But yeah, so I haven't really slept well all summer. That's kind of been a struggle. But school is kind of starting again soon, so I really should get back into a good sleep cycle, like actually sleep at appropriate times and get up at appropriate times. It's gonna start next week, and it's gonna be almost all digital. Every other week I'll have 2 classes that are physical attendance, and then everything else is gonna be digital. And then we also have conversation classes. I'm not sure when we start, maybe in a couple weeks, I think. The conversation classes will be physical attendance, I think, but yeah. So yeah, mixed feelings about school starting. I'm not super duper good, like, in the school setting, like classroom setting. I don't enjoy it very much, but I am looking forward to getting back into learning regularly. I've been struggling to study by myself this summer because it's just so easy to say I'll do it later. So that's a thing. We also had Mentors Week. I'm thinking about making a video about that, a video about Norwegian Mentors Week. I also thought about making a video about Rus, which is like the celebration at the end of high school, but that's, I mean, I don't feel like I'm qualified to talk about that because I was such a boring one. I didn't do anything when I was Rus. But Mentors Week I feel much more confident in. I was a mentor's child. I mean, I was a new student in the Mentors week, and I've also been a mentor, which was this year, which was also strange because of COVID, and it got cancelled on like day 2. But yeah, I feel like I want to talk about that in a video at some point. It's kind of a big concept for Norway that is not as well known, I think. But I kind of want to talk about it because it is interesting, and it is something that you'll definitely notice if you're in Norway somewhere time around the beginning of August. Okay, do you want to but do you want me to tell you some of the things on my list of video ideas? Because I was brainstorming earlier. I figured this was the not easiest, but like the most appropriate one comparing to my setting. I'm sitting on my bed with the lav microphone, which is not my main microphone. I could move the other setup in here, but that gets a little like complicated. And also my laptop is not as beefy as my desktop. Not that my desktop is particularly beefy. But yeah, I just figured since I'm tired, since it's kind of dark, I just have my night lamp. It's just chill feel. We're doing the midnight catch up, but I did have a lot of ideas. Figured I could like tell you about them. Sounds interesting? No? Cool. Okay, so the first one is actually an anime that I've been watching. It's so dumb, but I really like it. It's called Rent a Girlfriend. It's actually, okay, so I heard about it first time from a video called Day in the Life of a Mangaka. It's on the Paolo from Tokyo. I think it's, yeah, that's the name of the channel, right? It's on that channel. He does a lot of like day in the life of Japanese salesperson or Japanese office worker, Japanese university student, like lots of those videos. So he made a video about being a mangaka, which I really liked. And the dude in the video, the mangaka, he made the manga for this anime, Rent a Girlfriend. I started watching it mainly because I already kind of knew of it, so, you know, I wanted to. And then it was really dumb, but it was also kind of fun. And it's still really dumb, but it's also kind of fun. I don't know if it qualifies as a guilty pleasure, because I don't know if I feel guilty about it, but I also don't necessarily feel proud for liking the show. But I'm surprisingly excited about it. So yeah, I am watching that on a weekly basis. It comes out on Fridays. And I thought I'd talk about it, but I'm not sure if I will, because I'm not sure if I know how to talk about anime in a not a review way. I don't want to review stuff. I just want to share excitement, if that makes sense. The next one is Going 17. And now Going 17 is kind of taking over my life these days, but it's just so fun. So if you don't know what it is, if you heard about K-pop, there's a group called 17. I really like them. I used to like them always, pretty much. I think I was there for the debut back in the day, but I didn't pay like too much attention. Like I saw their stuff coming out. I didn't necessarily check out their albums or their other stuff, but I did like the group. And then I made a friend earlier this year that really likes 17, and he just kind of rubbed off on me. It just kind of got me back into it, and now I'm obsessed with it. I think more than her. So Going 17 is like, it used to be kind of like their vloggy thing. Now it's more kind of a just variety content. Like sometimes they do games or challenges, or sometimes they talk about stuff, and there's a lot of other content as well connected to it, like Inside 17, which is kind of like behind the scenes of their stuff. There's so much to watch, like variety content wise, when it comes to 17. So yeah, I've been doing that a lot this summer. I've been learning a lot of Korean from it as well, kind of by accident. Like I've been accidentally studying Korean way more this summer than I have Japanese, which is interesting because my major is Japanese. But yeah, that's something I kind of want to talk about, but at the same time, I'm not sure how I can collect my words and not just ramble for 20-30 minutes. So here's some other ideas that I've been thinking about, which is more like informational type ideas. I was thinking about not making those anymore, but I mean, I think I should just be a little bit more selective about which ones I make, not talk about stuff that I don't know about, but instead make an effort to talk about stuff that I actually personally know. So the first one was getting a job, like a part-time job, because I've had those. I have one, so I know about that one. Thought about making a video about that. I also thought about making a video about what the COVID semester at the University of Bergen is gonna look like. Like I have a pretty good idea of what it's gonna look like for pretty much everyone. It's a mix between digital stuff and physical stuff, but mostly digital, especially for big subjects, like subject with a lot of people, and you know, measures to not spread the virus and stuff like that. I figured I could talk about it, maybe it would be interesting. I also thought about making a video about like the resources I'm using to learning Japanese. Now in my school we use like textbooks, but I also have a lot of stuff myself that I like to use. So that could have been a good video, but a part of me doesn't want to make that video because I'm not that good at Japanese yet. I've also really been wanting to make a video about what it's like being adopted. Maybe specifically what it's like being adopted in Norway, which is a very white country, but I don't know. I just feel like people don't talk about it that much. Like if people are adopted, they might not talk about it or mention it. It's not really a big part of their identity. And honestly, to me, It's never really been a big part of my identity. It became more of a subject when I got into the grown-up world, because grown-ups care a lot more than kids do. I remember being in kindergarten telling people that I was adopted, and they were like, what is that? And I told them, and they were like, that's not a real word. That's not a real thing. I also really want to talk about the Mbti tests. I've been doing those, not doing those, I did it like 3 times I think, just to make sure I got the right result. And I did, I think. It seems very suiting to me, and I love those things. I don't really like horoscopes. I used to back in the day, but I don't really like horoscopes or like blood type personality things. But I like personality tests because they are based on what you actually say. So they're way more accurate than, you were born in December. It's interesting. And I really like it, and I kind of wanted to like do the test on camera, talk about the questions. It's really narcissistic, really. I wanted to just share my question and also like look at my profile and what I am and what I agree with and don't agree with. It's really narcissistic, but I think it's very interesting. Speaking of narcissistic, what changed after my first year at uni? Stuff like I got more piercings now, my hair changed. It's shorter than it's been since I was a child. Hair color is different. Like the new friends I made, the new problems that I have, the problems that I don't have anymore, if any. How exhausted I always am. But also I've been exhausted for years, so who knows? My mental state, I don't know. My physical state, I don't know. It's just something that would be kind of fun looking back to, like how I was when I started out and what's changed, how I've changed, things around me. I see there's a lot of like books, webtoons, K-pop that I want to talk about that I made up in like video ideas, like Senso no Kaban, which is a teacher's bag, Norwegian title though. I got it from a Norwegian source, so it was translated to Norwegian. It's actually Strange Weather in Tokyo, which is I like the title, it just doesn't necessarily fit the book. Senso no Kaban is so much more accurate because it kind of is a big part of the book. The teacher's bag. Sounds kind of weird. So I get why they didn't translate it like that, but you know. So that's a thing. Ojisama to Neko is a manga that I really like, which is Uncle and Cat. It's a manga that I'm reading in Japanese really slowly. Other than that, yeah, lots of like K-pop stuff. How it's been returning to reading, expanding my reading horizons, that's the thing I've done. I've been getting back into playing more games, like less casual games. So I got into playing League of Legends, which has been a disaster, but a really fun one. And also, my favorite things is summer 2020. Now, I'm not sure how I should do this. I like the monthly favorites format. I like the idea. I'm not sure if it's a thing that people watch anymore because it used to be so popular, particularly with like beauty YouTubers, I guess. But I know that a lot of them just kind of transitioned it into like monthly favorites, some beauty products, a book that I liked, a movie, music. I really like it. I kind of wanted to do it as a weekly thing, but I'm not sure if I'm able to find new stuff every week. But I really want to do that because I don't know if I can like talk for a whole video about every single thing that I get excited about. Okay, so those were some of the things on my list. I like a lot of the ideas though, honestly. My biggest issue with everything is the fact that I don't like being scripted. I like bullet points, but I tend to ramble. And I personally, I get that people don't want to watch that, but it's just my style. And I'm struggling with like, should I change or should I just do whatever I want? So yeah, so that's what's been going on lately. Some of my video ideas, which is just reading up my video days is basically like a catch up. Like you heard about my piercings first here. I got 3 at once, which is new for me. I never gotten like proper piercings before. I got them like with a piercing gun at the hairdresser when I was like a kid, which is quick, but apparently not that good because it kind of damages the tissue. So I actually went to a tattoo salon, which does piercings because they usually come together. And I got 3. 2 in the lobe, which was fine. It like ouchy a little bit, but the one in the helix, that hurt. It wasn't like 10 out of 10 pain. The actual stab of the needle wasn't so bad. When she put the piercing in, that really hurt for some reason. But that was fun. That was an experience. When canoeing on a mountain with a friend, that was fun. I don't know. This feels good for me. I like filming this, just talking, having conversation, talking about the things that I like. Maybe I should just start a podcast, but no one would watch that, would they? But someday, if I get viewers that like me and like the stuff that I like, I would probably totally be the kind of person who does a lot of live chats, like just live hangout chats, talking about stuff, answering questions, showing off random things. I like watching those. I've been watching a lot of 17 ones because I you know, the real life has subs. English subs, like fan subs, and they're not always accurate, but it's usually fine. Sometimes just watching them hang out, talking about random things. I like that. I like the chill of it, and I kind of want to make that myself someday, but first, I need people to watch. Maybe I should talk about what it's like to work during COVID, like in a store, but I'm not sure if that's fun for anyone. At the end of the day, there's always lots of things that I want to talk about. I usually just really struggle with how, and also filming this is fine. I enjoy filming this. Editing this is not gonna be as fine. Oh, books! I've been writing more stuff lately. Hey, let's catch up. I've been writing. I don't know. I enjoy these. I'll try to make them shorter in the future if you care about that, but I do. I don't want them to be a half an hour long, so this is hopefully gonna be less than 20 minutes. Maybe I could do this every week. I don't know. So yeah, that's kind of been an update. Summer's almost over, school's starting soon, COVID is still a thing. I have lots of ideas, and through telling you those ideas, I gave you a little bit of an update on things that I've been doing, watching, seeing. Somehow I feel better. I feel lighter, like I got stuff off my chest. Ah, how nice. Ooh. Thank you so much for watching this little catch up, this little chit chat with the coffee. I'll see you in the future. Hopefully it's not gonna be another month. I think I've been better. Last video was about a month ago. The video before that was 5 months, I think. So this is a good increase, I'm telling you. I'll see you next time. I hope you have a good night, morning, evening, day, whatever time it is where you are. Please subscribe if you want to see more of my stupid face, and see you next time. Good night. Bye bye.